And one of the things that I said earlier and is I'm going to try to be an incredible father without not being too hard on him. And so I want to put him around surround him with people like you, people like Rez, obviously be around Mona. But if I can have a circle of people that have that kid thinking differently than everybody else, I'm in a good start. So is there any kind of tip you can give me as a father going forward on how to establish good steps at this stage?
So how old is he?
He's 3 months old.
He's 3 months old.
I know he's the size of a large bodybuilder,
but like I said, it's everything. You know, I have 4 kids, so you know, my biggest investment is into my children, the time that I get with my children. And you know, there's a lot of things that you read out there, like, oh, make sure, you know, we live this crazy entrepreneurial lifestyle that's, we're always traveling and moving, like, oh, just make sure you get good quality time. Well, you need quantity time as well. You need reps with your kids because you're gonna learn. Just like everything else that we do, you expose yourself in the gym, you find weaknesses. It's the same thing with being a father. The principles don't change. I need to expose myself to that environment and find my weaknesses as a father. And like I said, the biggest thing that I've learned is that I have a 9-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. She just turned 1. And when I look
right in front of me. All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Right. My experience is, you know, Navy SEAL father. I got my first boy. You know, my wife asked me, she's like, how many kids do you want? I'm like, as many as it takes to have a boy. You know, you should have seen the look on her face when we found out we were having a boy. She's like, oh, thank God. But my experience with my boy is I was just like, get going, suck it up, you know, figure it out. So no matter how young he was, I thought driving him at that young age was going to help him.
Right.
I'm sure there's definitely some forging that I did with him. How it translates to how he gets older, I'm going to have to see. This is a constant learning process. But what I saw, some of the things that I was putting a lot of effort into early on, not come to fruition later, I was like, I've been doing this for 5 years, 6 years, and really it just hasn't started to stick yet. Now, there are some subtleties that started to stick along the way with being able to forge his mindset of not quitting, being able to push through things that are uncomfortable. But what I started to realize is that the trust that we have with each other. When I'm like, hey, jump in the water. He's like, I don't know. It might be way colder than I'd like to deal with right now. Instead of just looking at me and be like, yeah, whatever you say, Dad, I'm in, right? There's a little bit of hesitation. And I think the hesitation was built on pushing him through some moments that were difficult. You know, I made him get in the water a couple of times, and I'm just isolating one example. I'm trying to really explain this so people that are parents can understand it, is that I pushed him to get in there to the point where he was crying. He's like, why are you making me get in the water? I don't want to do it. And it was just, we all know, and I know that it's just a mental game. But does he understand that? Does he comprehend that it's a mental game? Or is it just Dad making me get in the damn cold water?
Right.
So when you isolate that mindset, to me, what I started to realize is that it's heavily based on trust. You have to be able to build trust. So my 2-year-old, my boy, my second boy, clings to me nonstop. And like our trust and our bond is so tight because I've learned and applied that to my other children. Well, I'm like, it's only going to be about trust. So instead if you bump your head and I pick you up and make you get on your feet and keep walking and you're crying, I'm like, suck it up, you know, like just rub it and go, walk it off.
Put some dirt on it, we're good.
Exactly. Well, just that concept alone, what I realized is that I needed to be there for him. So even if he bumped his head, fell down, cried, cold, whatever it was less about the environment and the stimulus, and it had everything to do with my connection with him, with being like, look, I'm here for you, and whatever this is that you're going through, we're gonna do it together. Keeping it simple, explaining it, but that has everything to do with the trust. I have no doubt right now, if I told my 2-year-old, he's almost gonna be 3, that if I told him to do something, he'd be like, got it, Dad, I'm in, boom, in the water,
tried it.
In here, I'll pick this up, I'll do the push-ups you tell me to, I'll try whatever you tell me to. Huge difference, and it's been a learning curve. So I'd say that that is the biggest place to start. Don't get so wrapped up on the environment because you have to, every child is gonna develop differently, and every one of my kids is different, so I've got 4 reps at this. And recognizing that there's no way for us to tell whether they're really taking in the environment that you're giving them and they understand the why behind you're trying to teach them. So you might be going to the gym at 3 or 4 years old, you're gonna get stronger. he might not have the brain power to really understand the way you do that he's going to get in there and go stronger. It's going to be good for him for the rest of his life.
Right.
What you need to understand is that the trust being built first is everything. Because then when he does understand the why, he's going to trust you. And he's already going to have built that, like, well, I know my dad's doing the right thing, so I'm just going to follow his every move because he hasn't let me down yet. That's the biggest aspect of it, if I had to say one thing. And then the second layer to support everything that I just said is your follow through in your word. If you tell your kids you're going to do something, follow through with it and do not let them down.
Such a big thing.
You're building reps with them every time. You're like, hey, we're going to go to get ice cream later. You're like, oh, something came up, we weren't able to get ice cream. Let's go build Legos later. Oh, sorry, something came up, I wasn't able to build Legos. To me, there's no more important thing than keeping my word. And even me personally as a father, I say maybe a lot because it kind of leaves it open-ended. But do they understand maybe, or is there a chance? So when you give them a chance, and this is something that I'm personally working on right now, to be very definitive. Like, hey, we're not going to have time today because I got to do X. And you know what? If I do it, wow, he surprised me, right?
Right.
But if I say that I'm going to do something, I do everything that I possibly can. I will move mountains to follow through with it and always be the dad that said what I was and did what I said I was going to do every single time. So that trust and that repetition and not letting them down develops their ability to understand what they're going to do too. When they develop their mindset of like when they tell somebody something, we're programming them at an early age. We're giving them the decision making, their ability to fight through problems, their tenacity, their loving ability to take care of people and nurture. It's all being developed. So those are the two main things that I would say I've taken out of being a father and that I take very seriously.
See, I can see some of the things that I was raised with that maybe slipped on that. So that's a great aspect. I'm taking some of that stuff. I'm taking most of that stuff. And that way I can also blame it on you if he turns out,
I'll fly back out here and
straighten
if
him
we need
out.
to work on it, But my boys too, it's good to see them develop.
I feel pretty safe with Mona being the mom.
Yeah, that's good.
What's up, kid? You good?
Oh, good, yeah.
All right. So, USA, the country, what does it mean to you?
Well, it's God's country. Obviously, everything belongs to God. But, when we look at how we were founded, everything from we were solidified in our Constitution by men that had Judeo-Christian values and that applied those principles to everything that they did, every decision they made. That is a fact. Most of the men that wrote the Constitution were Christians. They followed Christ and they believed in the value of human life and the principles of everything that they were doing. So when they built that document based off of what they believed God was calling them to do. And why people are like, that is the best document in the world. It's one of the best documents in existence. Why we have our freedom here to this day. The things that we've been able to protect were inherently driven by those men and been able to protect this freedom. And look how much freedom that we have in this country. It is amazing. And we keep going back to the people that take it for granted, but you can never forget where you are. I mean, how nice is it to go to state and not have everybody stop you at a checkpoint? I mean, people don't even think of that, but that's what happens in most of the world. Most countries don't have showers. Most countries, literally, they wipe themselves off with a rag.
Yep.
They don't even have showers or running water. The list goes on and on and on of things that we have that are an amazing blessing. And it's waking up every day and be like, wow, look how epic this environment is that I live in, and appreciating every bit of it, the beauty in this country, the freedom in this country that we've been given. And to me, that's worth fighting for. And it's worth fighting for to give people that level of freedom. I love the creativity that comes out of this country. I love the people that have been born out of this country. And when I see the aspect of how we should be leading, I feel like we're starting to lose our way a lot, especially from a cultural aspect. Like when I think of politics, it's exactly what they are. They're politics. Left, right, whatever. Like I follow God ultimately. Like any leader in the world, there's never going to be any man that you're like, that guy has 100% of everything that I want to become, right? There's always going to be different elements of that. And the leadership aspect of it is always been broken to a certain extent. So seeing where we are now and the divide in our country, it breaks my heart. Because I'm like, that's not what this is about, guys. I don't want a Democrat or a Republican. I want a leader to lead our country. I just want a good leader. Can we just have a good leader? So when I think of where we're going now, it's like, what can I do from my position to help unify people, to be stronger together, and to be stronger to work together, to realize the impact that we could have if we were doing it together. We're so fragmented. I believe in this country with all my heart because obviously I fought for it. I mean, the guys that I've seen sacrifice everything, it means everything to me. There's been a lot of lives lost to increase our freedom here in this country. And, you know, I said it before, but we're always just one generation away from freedom being extinct. And we have to remember that. And we have to be able to step up and remind ourselves and teach our children how we got here. It's so important. Do not ignore the history books. The history books of how we got here in the Civil War, the battles that took place, every little detail has allowed us to get right where we are today. And they are all important and they need to be understood. So, you know, for me, it's something that I'm blessed to be here. It's amazing to be able to go to Gold's Gym in Venice Beach, crush a workout, hang out together. Nobody's bothering us. We can do whatever we want. We have amazing freedom here. And I would just say that nobody should ever take that for granted and always just appreciate what we have here. And remember that it takes a fight to keep it.
100% with you. Team. Team has to mean a lot to you. What does team represent to you?
It's kind of like what I just talked about too, about unifying people, is you're always going to be stronger together for a bigger purpose than yourself. You're always going to make more of an impact. I look at people as force multipliers. You know, we're force multiplying right now just being in the same room with each other. You know, that somebody's going to get value out of what we're talking about. So automatically when you do something together, you create a team. And through adversity and challenge, the team gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's just like, if I had to meet somebody for the first day, right? If we just linked up and we were going to do something, like, how would I get as close to him as I possibly could? How could I learn more about him than anything else that we could do? Throw us in a firefight. Send bullets through the window right now. Let's see how everybody in the room reacts, what they do, how they respond, where they go. Are they fighters or are you going to run? Are you going to work together? What mental processes are going to happen in that moment? And like instantaneously you could become best friends. Like, dude, I was thinking the same thing. We maneuvered, we were able to flank the guy, we grabbed him out of the bushes and friggin' stomped his head in, right? Whatever it is.
Right.
So when I look at a team, like there's something amazing about a team that is in sync and working together and has the same goals. It just force multiplies you in everything else you do. So seeking that out can be difficult, especially in today's day and age. Like we have the corporate structure and the corporate team, right? Like that's your 9 to 5. Hey, we have to work together and figure out some type of unified purpose. But like a real legit team that lives, eats, and breathes together, I mean, to me, it is almost unstoppable. It's like the guys that I worked with in the command.
I love that you said that. Because you came from a team, SEAL Team 6. You can't really go, I can't think of a team, not even a pro football team is closer, because you guys are covering each other's backs for life, life and death. And so that team is like the pinnacle. But there's a team that you should rebuild or have, and like I got the Titan crew. And in this crew, there's core values. And I imagine with you guys, you had core values. You know, with us, it's keep it simple, keep it positive. We all have bad days. Let's keep moving forward. Support each other. These are some of the things that we believe in. And you're a guy that you had a team, and you just said something that I love, because I feel like I've grown today just being around you and part of the team. How do we tell these people out there they need a team instead of just being an individual? I'm by myself. I'm good. I don't need nothing. I don't need to learn anything.
I think it's realizing that when we're not around people that we can't learn from, we're going to become stagnant. We're going to become stagnant in our own thoughts and ideas. I need people to challenge me. I want people to challenge me. I want to go to the gym. I want you looking at me and being like, you can tweak this. You can make this better. Try this. Try something different. I'm like, boom, light bulbs are going off. I'm growing. I'm creating stimulus in my mind that's going to make me better at everything else that I do. So without the right people around me that are going to push me to that level, like you're just maintaining, right? The word that I said that you didn't like.
That word.
Yeah, we hate that word.
Hate that word.
Right? So I don't want to just maintain. And I think that there's a level of, no matter what your personality is, I think there's a level of comfort that comes along with maintaining and just being like, hey, I'm just going to be by myself. I'm going to do my thing. Is that I'm always in life seeking people that are going to help me challenge myself and help me improve and see the world from a different perspective. Like, the older I get, the more I learn. I say that all the time. Like, I'm 37 now, but like, I know I'll learn more tomorrow than I did today because I'm more wise to what I need to be paying attention to. What's real and what's not real. What's important and what's not important. So I think from the standpoint of being in a team, you have the opportunity to see what works, what doesn't work, what you like, what you don't like, who helps you, who doesn't help you, what holds you back, what pushes you. So when you identify those things, like, you need to take mental notes and apply them. If I have a team and I have somebody holding me back, I mean, this is with anything. Sometimes it sucks and it's hard to confront, especially in today's age. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, right? And truly, I do want to see everybody be the best version of themselves. But there's also an aspect that you need to be able to recognize when somebody is being detrimental to your success, in your progress, in your strength, is that you need to have the ability to take the hard decision and hard road and say, it's time for them to go. I'm not saying you shouldn't work on it, but the quicker you can remove people from your team and your life that are holding you back in a negative way, and it's almost like some people grow up with that. They grow up with like just a negative constantly. They don't realize how much it's holding them back, even if they're doing well. Think about how much better you could be doing. If somebody wasn't in your ear holding you back or being an obstacle, or, you know, free yourself, break those chains. And then it's the more you do what you love.
I love that you said that out loud.
The more that you do what you love, the more that you do what you're passionate about, the more you hang out with people that are like-minded and goal-driven, you'll attract more of the same people. And there's a forging process that takes place there that sucks sometimes. And it sucks to confront the reality that, like, wait a minute, this guy's been in my life forever and I thought we were going to do this together, but that got broken down and reconstructed, but it's because you're being forged. You're being forged for something better. And as long as you're staying focused and you're moving forward, you're going to attract more of the people that you're trying to become.
It's a harsh reality.
And it is.
Because it's one of those things that is, if you date someone and it's not working, well, then you end it. But it should be that way with everybody that's in your circle. Maybe you're not dating the guy, but that's your boy and your friend, but they're kind of slacking over here and they start bringing you down and go, well, let's skip this. Very negative. Trying to remove that person. You still love them, they're a great person, but until they come and hit the reality, and I've had to do that in the last 10 years of my life as I get older and older, it's amazing how you got to really clear out some that are just like, I've done my life, I'm good, I'm peaked, I'm done.
Yeah, and there's a hard reality of what you just said to confront. Because say you have somebody in your life that you really do care about, and you really want to see the best version of themselves, and you have the uncomfortable conversations. But there's something that you need to understand is that if you have somebody around you that's pulling you down and holding you back,
sooner or later,
guess what? You can't be the best version of yourself if you're letting them do that to you. And it's not that you don't care about them. And in fact, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to help you, and you're not having an effect, and there's still the negative connotation there, the worst thing that you're probably doing is hanging out and continuing to give them what they're not taking in. And you're validating their existence when you're trying. It's like, it's time to hit the reset button in some aspect. And if that's leaving their life or breaking away or shifting it up or changing it up, see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen? The same thing? Or you find out something about yourself and them that you didn't know about. And you know what? The good people and the people that really truly care about you and love you and that are going to do everything for you, they're always going to be there. They're not going to go away. You know, and my dad always said, you're only really going to be able to count your true friends on one hand and you can't use your thumb. Like, that's throughout your whole life. You get forged and challenged through all this, and it's
yeah, that's one thing I heard as a kid too. It's like, nah, you're probably going to go through and then you're going to have 5 good friends. And that's it. It's like, wait a minute, I've met millions.
Right.
No, it's not that way.
Yeah. And we think about our time too. Like, time is our most valuable resource. It's a hard thing to confront because we live in a world where we have 1,000 friends on Facebook and we get, all these followers, and it's like, well, what are friends? Facebook says you have friends. Those aren't friends.
Right.
Those are little, like, people online with a little box and a face. Like, at the end of the day, true people in your life, if you have a family and you have a career, your time is so valuable. Like, how much time do you really have to put true meaning into the relationships that you do have? You can't have more than 5 people that you're really engaging with on an intimate level, that you're like, I'm here for you no matter what. I'm showing up no matter what. I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to pick up the phone. You can't do that with too many people in your life. And if you try to do it with thousands of people, guess what? Your relationship's going to be shitty with all of them, because you're not going to be able
And
to
we've
give
seen
them.
people like that. These guys hit celebrity and they got all the money, and then they got a posse of 20 people. And sooner or later, they just collapse.
Right.
Because they're trying to just, oh, hey, I'm bringing you all with me. And you're sharing, and then everybody just takes from you. There's a difference between a person that likes you and a person that values you. Instagram, Facebook, and all that, they like you. The people that value you are getting a hold of you in a different way. You know, they're if you're putting out an email, they're listening to what you're having to say, and they're changing their lives. Where the people that like you just gonna, hey, you got abs, cool, that's great. You squat a lot, okay, cool deal. Yeah. That doesn't do anything for you. Your mindset is second level. I loved everything about today, from the training to talking to fatherhood. And the aspects, man. Thanks for hanging out today,
Yeah,
brother.
man, it's awesome, dude. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot, Mike. It was
I
a great
appreciate
training
this.
session this morning. So.